Okay, so another concept in analytic geometry that we'll look into would be the slope and the inclination of a line. So first, we define the inclination of a line that intersects the x-axis, which is the smallest angle greater than or equal to 0 degrees that the line makes with the positive x-axis. So, urong natin ito ng konti. Ito, this angle here is what we call the inclination of this line. So, the smallest angle na ginagawa dun sa x-axis. Ito yun. That is what we call the inclination of our line. Ayan. Ayan. Because it has to be the smallest angle greater than or equal to 0 degrees that the line makes with the positive x-axis. Parang angle in standard position. Now, the slope of that same line is the tangent of the inclination. So, if we find the tangent function of this angle theta, then we find the slope of the line. So, since we have this line here, let's label this as our line L. Here. Then we're going to have this same line with the same slope. Given 2 points on the line, say point A with coordinates x sub 1, y sub 1, and point B with coordinates x sub 2, y sub 2. So, from there, nag-form tayo ngayon ng lines from point B pababa, ito, and then point A pa ganyan. So that we form a right triangle so that we can utilize theta. Kasi nga tangent ng inclination. So we need tangent theta. Mas madaling maghanap ng tangent function kung meron tayong right triangle. So let's use that vertical and horizontal distance to create our right triangle. So, kapantay nito, ito, so it will still be this point here. This point here would have the coordinates x sub 2, y sub 1. Yeah, kasi ito yung katapat niya x sub 2, ito yung katapat niya y sub 1 here. So from there, we form this distance and then this distance, which we already saw actually when we tried to form the definition for the distance formula. So from here, we get the tangent of theta para may values tayo. Kasi madalas, if we find the slope, we usually have 2 points. We're still dealing with concepts in analytic geometry regarding points. So from there, we define tangent. Kung matatandaan nyo yung triangle, tangent is defined to be the opposite side over the adjacent side of the angle theta. So from here, urong natin tong angle theta natin. Sorry. So, puro na lang natin mechanism. Ayan. So, we're going to have tangent of theta, which is equal to the opposite side of theta, which is what? Y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and yung length niya over the adjacent side, which is x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So by that, etong expression na ngayon is the slope of the line. Because the slope of the line is the tangent of theta, which is the inclination. Therefore, this expression becomes the formula that we know for slope. That the slope m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1 given 2 points. Ngayon, madalas, we know y sub 2 minus y sub 1 as rise. So, that natin piliin ng konti. We know y sub 2 minus y sub 1 as rise because it deals with the vertical distance, while the x sub 2 minus x sub 1 is more commonly known as run kasi it deals with horizontal distance. So, para madaling matandaan, rise over run. Yan. Now, slope is a very important concept in pre-calculus at kailangan mag-gets natin to kasi pagdating sa calculus, ang dami-dami slope na hinahanap. Especially that what important concept in calculus, derivative is a slope. So, hindi kayo magsasawa sa slope. So, yeah. So, this is the formula for slope given 2 points on a line. Now, two special concepts or theorems regarding slope would be about the slope of parallel and perpendicular lines. If two non-vertical lines are parallel, then their slopes would be equal. M sub 1 minus M sub 2. On the other hand, if two oblique lines are perpendicular, then their slope is the negative reciprocal of each other. Or, we'll have this one. Another version of this would be kapag cross-multiply mo ito, at yung kulay, pag cross-multiply mo ito, we're going to have M sub 1 plus M sub 2 equals negative 1. Yeah, so if lines are parallel, they have equal slopes or the same slope. If they have perpendicular slopes, their product is negative 1, or 1 is a negative reciprocal of the other. So let's have some problem solving involving slopes. So first, we are asked to find or determine the inclination of the line with a slope of square root of 3 over 3. So, so for number 1, we're asked to find what is inclination. That's an angle theta, given that the slope is square root of 3 over 3. Now, again, we are told that the slope of a line is the tangent of the inclination. So, substituting here, the square root of 3 over 3 is equal to tangent theta. Theta ang hinahanap natin. We're asked to find the inclination. Therefore, theta would be equal to inverse tangent of square root of 3 over 3. And since it's the smallest positive angle from the x-axis, then we'll take the positive value. And that would be pi over 6 in radians or 30 degrees, 12 in degrees. So ito ang sagot sa number 1. In number 2, we are asked to sketch and find the slope and inclination of the line that passes through the given points. We have A, 3, negative 1, B, 4, 2. So let's first sketch the 2 points. Let's plot the 2 points. So A, 1, 2, 3, negative 1. So this is A at 3, negative 1, and B is at 4, 1, 2. Ito naman si B at 4, 2. So if we are to sketch a line, ayan. Here we go. Step lang natin lang on. Ayan, pwede na yan. Oh, parang diretso. So this is the line, and we are asked now to find the slope and the inclination. So for the slope, since we're given with 2 points, we can easily use our formula y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Unlike in division of a line segment, dito medyo kahit anong piliin nyo na x sub 1, y sub 1, x sub 2, y sub 2, okay lang. It will still have the same slope. So, in this specific case, yung b ang given sa yung x sub 2, y sub 2, yung a ang gawin natin x sub 1, y sub 1. So, therefore, the slope m would be equal to 2 minus negative 1, that's y sub 2 minus y sub 1, over 4 minus 3. That would be x sub 2 minus x sub 1. 2 minus negative 1 becomes 3, and 4 minus 3 becomes 1. Therefore, the slope that we're looking for is equal to 3. Now, since slope is equal to 3, we can now look for the inclination. Because again, the slope is equal to the tangent of the inclination. So therefore, 3 would be equal to tangent theta, and then we look for theta. And theta would be equal to our tangent 3 para mahanap yung value nun. And since it is not a special angle, we'll have to use a calculator. And this is approximately equal to 72 degrees. Therefore, this is the sketch of our graph, of the line rather. The slope of this line is 3 and its inclination is approximately 72 degrees. Now, in number 3, we are asked to sketch a line through the point with the slope. So, ibaba natin muna ng konti. Ayan, dito na lang yung ating number 3. Although medyo awkward na andito yung given sa right side. Sige na. So, number 3, dito na lang sa baba. Yan, ayan. So in number 3, we're asked to sketch a line through the point P having the given slope. So let's first draw our Cartesian plane. This one here, and then this one here. So, we have point P at negative 2, 1. Ito yun. And we're asked to draw the line with that slope. M is equal to 3/4. Now, a while ago, in-emphasize natin na ito ay, na ang slope ay pwedeng rise over run. You can consider it that way. With that, ibig sabihin nun, you can use that idea to draw the other point na pwede mo i-connect to draw a line. Now, pag rise, syempre, pag positive, you go up, negative, you go down. Pag run, positive, you go right, negative, you go left. Based from this, positive yung buong fraction. So, pag positive ang buong fraction, it's only either you have both positives in the numerator and denominator or both negatives in the numerator and the denominator. Na kung mamaya, pag sinek natin, parehas lang na magiging itsura yung line. Let's first try if we're going to have both positives. So, meaning, rise, positive, run, positive. If that is the case, then we're going to have to rise or to rise up positive 3 times. So that would be 1, 2, 3. Ay, yes. 1, 2, 3. Dito. And then run, positive then 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So mga eto. Halimbawa yan. Positive. Pero pag negative, ganun din naman. Negative divided by negative. So bababa ka daw ng 3. Kasi rise mo negative. So, bababa ka. 1, 2, 3. So, 1, 2, 3. Tapos, run mo pakaliwa ng 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So, eto naman. Na kung titingnan mo, halos it will just actually give you almost Manila pa na kumpisa ng isa. 25. Halos, ayan, it's almost ito lang isa yung medyo mali. Kasi, in-estimate lang natin yan. So, yeah. It's almost touching. Yeah. So, there. So, this line This line passes through the point negative 2, 1 and has the slope of 3/4. Now, let's now go into a little bit more difficult problems involving slopes. In number 4, we're asked to use slope to determine whether the 4 points given are vertices of a parallelogram. Hindi is a vertex, are vertices of a parallelogram. So, we're given with point A at 3, 0, B at 7, 0, C at 5, 3, and then D at 1, 3. So, you can try to graph to see paano yung arrangement niya, but usually it's A, B, C, D. So in that specific order, yun yung itsura ng ating parallelogram. So let's just illustrate that. So here is our Cartesian plane. We're going to have first A, 1, 2, 3, 0. This is A. Then B is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is 7, 0. C is at 5, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 1, 2, 3. Ito yung C. While D is at 1, 3. Ito. So if we're going to double check that, ito. Ayan. Hindi nakita. Yan. So, let's see if this would be a parallelogram. Papansin nyo, it's A, B, C, D. But anyway, if we find the slope ordered as a matrix. So, most probably, if it's a parallelogram, the opposite pairs are parallel. Therefore, we would have to check if line segment AB is parallel. Oops, the symbol for parallel is this. Parallel to line segment BC. And if line segment AD is parallel to line segment BC. Ang sabi natin kanina doon sa isang figure, if slopes are equal, then the lines are parallel. So, which means if the slope of AB is equal to the slope of BC, and similarly, if the slope of AB is equal to the slope of BC, then the lines are parallel. And if the pairs of opposite sides are parallel, then that is a parallelogram. So let's figure that out. First, the slope of AB, mapapansin nyo, AB is actually a horizontal line. So, if we're going to follow our formula that the slope is y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, then the slope of AB would actually be 0 minus 0 over 7 minus 3. Now, would that be equal to DC, which has 3 minus 3 over 1 minus 5? So, if we're going to compute that, we're going to actually get 0, which is equal to 0. So, AB is indeed parallel. AB is parallel to DC. Ngayon ang tanong, ito naman ba? By the way, before we go that, if you notice, AB and DC are horizontal lines, and it's a special property that the slope of any horizontal line is 0. So, now let's check if the slopes of AD and BC are equal. Computin natin. Ang slope ng AD, so I'm going to have 3 minus 0 over 1 minus 3. Would that be equal to BC? Would that be 3 minus 0 over 5 minus 7? So 3 minus 0 is 3, 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Would that equal to 3 minus 0? 3, negative 2. Oh, so we see that negative 3 halves is indeed equal to negative 3 halves. Therefore, the slopes are equal. Hindi natin nasulat yun dito. Sulat nga natin muna. That the slope of AD here is equal to the slope of BC. So, the slope of AD is equal to the slope of BC. Therefore, AB is parallel to BC. Here, AD is parallel to BC. And since both pairs of opposite sides are parallel, therefore, dito na sa gilid, therefore, A, B, C, D are vertices of a parallelogram. Ayan. There you go. Okay, so for number 5, our last problem regarding slope, we'll have to verify if these are vertices of a right triangle. So, pag sinabing right triangle, we would have to deal with perpendicular lines. And sabi nga natin, if two lines are perpendicular, then their slopes would be negative reciprocals of each other, or their products would be equal to negative 1. So, yun lang na kailangan natin i-check. Na kapag hinanan natin ang slope ng AB, slope ng BC, at slope ng AC, dalawa dyan, pag minultiply yung negative 1 ang sagot. O yung isa, negative reciprocal ng isa. So, let's find the slopes of AB, BC, and AC. So, the slope of AB would then be equal to 4 minus negative 4 all over 4 minus 4. So, we're going to have 4 minus negative 4 is 8. However, 4 minus 4 is 0. Therefore, the slope is said to be undefined. So, meron po palang undefined slope. Yes. Anong itsura ng slope na undefined? Let's draw this. So, if we have this one here, and we have that one there, A is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is A. While B is at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Ito pala sa taas. This is B. And if you're going to double check, yan. It is actually a vertical line. So, if slope ng horizontal line ay 0, slope ng vertical line is undefined. Yan. So, medyo natin magagamit yung AB kung nandyan yung right angle. So, most probably, we'll check at BC and AC. So, let's first compute for the slope of BC. BC will then be equal to 0 minus 4 over 0 minus 4. Ito pala yung itsura ng C. So, makikitsura ng triangle natin ay parang ganito. Yeah. So 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 4 divided by negative 4 is 1. So the slope of BC is equal to 1. If the slope of AC that we will get would be the negative reciprocal of 1, then lines ABC and AC are perpendicular. So the slope of AC is equal to, we have 0 minus negative 4 all over 0 minus 4. 0 minus negative 4 is positive 4, while 0 minus 4 is negative 4, which would be negative 1, which is the negative reciprocal of what? Negative 1 din yun. Kaya nyo maniwala, and let's use this one instead. The slope of BC times the slope of AC would be equal to negative 1. The slope of BC is 1, but the slope of AC is negative 1. Negative 1 is equal to negative 1. So therefore, itong dalawang to, because of this, therefore we say that line segment BC is perpendicular to line segment AC. Therefore, dahil may dalawang sides ng triangle na right, therefore we say that triangle ABC is a right triangle. Ayan. So those are just some of the sample problems in which we use slope to solve geometric problems.